Hello, welcome to Working Crass Podcast. That's Lauren.
Shalom.
And I'm Joshua. Howdy. Was that a shout out to Kanye West there?
That was my subliminal messaging.
Like, shalom, bitch. Shalom. Them's fighting words. Well, man, that's been nonstop. All you hear about nowadays. Usually the news cycle is like a couple days, and then they'll move on to something else. But lately, it's been week after week after week of Kanye West.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because we have nothing else to talk about.
It's interesting because, well, yeah, definitely. There's nothing else to talk about.
They're waiting for Elon Musk to really drop the bomb in terms of all the Twitter news stuff to release like the insider scoop on that.
Right.
And in the meantime, what do we have to report on?
We send, the deep state sent Kanye out there. They're like, go talk about the Jews for a little while.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm uncomfortable. I went too far. I went too far last time. You all told me I went too far last time. And they're like, you could go a little farther, couldn't you? Say you like Hitler. Get out there.
And then he was like,
we need some stories this week.
And then he was like, can I do prop comedy?
And they're like, yeah. It is funny how he's gone on every like podcast that people called alt-right, like and describe the host as a Nazi, and then you get Kanye West on there going, I like Hitler, and the host that's supposed to be a Nazi by leftist terms is like, we don't like Hitler around here.
Yeah, you're making the Nazis uncomfortable.
It is funny, like there's probably quite a few like left-leaning people that watched the clip of him and Alex Jones and heard Alex Jones go, I don't like Hitler, and went, what?
Wait, what?
What? I thought that this InfoWars show was him literally heiling Hitler the whole show.
I thought it was just him professing his love for the Fuhrer. I thought that's what the show was. I thought it was in Fuhrer Wars.
In Fuhrer Awards. And I said that. In Fuhrer Awards.
Yeah.
But that is interesting. It's nice to see all of the alt-right people, all the alt-right Nazis condemn Nazis.
Yeah, see their buttholes clench up.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I like to see a good Nazi condemn Nazis.
It's weird because, like, I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
But I feel
I'm
like...
a Nazi.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just... I feel weird because I don't feel like... And maybe it's just because my threshold for what offends me is so wide. But I don't really get offended when Kanye says this stuff. I mostly think it's hilarious.
Well, let me ask
I just think it's silly, and I'm like, it's just nonsense.
So far, has Kanye said anything that an edgy high schooler didn't already say to you before as a Jew?
To be fair, even the edgy high schoolers were like, I'm not going that far.
Well, you didn't. Well, then I guess it was just me and my friends when there's no Jews around. I mean, going to school like in East Texas, there's definitely some like, but I always took it as like sarcastic, ironic, just like the racist jokes that it's like people are pretending to be racist and will say horrible things, but the whole thing is just being edgy and it's not that funny. But I mean, it's like when you're growing up, because he said the thing you're not supposed to say, it's like, you laugh like crazy because you're kids and there's no adults around.
I just had nobody in my high school
that was cool. You didn't know anyone.
I didn't have anybody cool in my high school at all.
No one cool enough like Kanye to admit.
Well, I definitely had no edgelords coming up to me in high school doing prop comedy about how they loved Hitler. So,
well, my problem now that I'm married to a Jew is at work. They sent out the picture of our wedding. And I'm wearing a yarmulke in it, and everyone at work comes up to me now, and they're like, "Oh, I saw you wore a yarmulke in your picture. I actually saw a Jew on the train to work today. He was wearing a yarmulke too." And I'm like, "Good for you. Very nice. Spot them all. Put them on a list." Let's play a little game. Put all the Jews you can find on a list. It's so weird. And I'm not Jewish. Like, I'm just married to a Jewish woman. But I didn't realize how few Jews I work with until I married a Jewish woman, and every person comes up to me, I didn't know you were Jewish.
I ate a bagel last week.
You and your wife would probably know all about this, but I had some schmear with my bagel.
I went to the bank yesterday.
Hey, the weather's really nice today. Tell your wife thank you.
Well, get ready. Come Monday, they're all going to ask you about Kanye. and they're going to ask you what they should think about it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because now you are the voice. You're the voice of a community.
You know, you being Jewish, you should know, what do you think about the Kanye stuff? And I have to go, well, first of all, I'm not Jewish again. I've said it before.
Yeah, but you're married to a Jew, so that's like close enough. So like, tell us what our opinion should be about this thing.
And then I'm going to be the one to go like, Kanye's hilarious.
My wife said it.
My wife said he's funny. This one guy.
I think it's funny in the way that I think like absurd stuff is absurdly funny.
It is absurd.
It's just wild.
Ari Shafir, I think, put it correctly. He's like, it's funny because he's not doing anything.
Yeah, he's not knocking on our door and like saying, hey, we got a boxcar out here that needs a fill-in.
Exactly. Then we should all say, this is my thing always is like, there's words and then there's actions, okay? Words, they can't really do anything. People love to attribute all of the actions to words. We were just talking about this recently too. Like the shootings immediately go with like, okay, whose words did that shooter use to inspire them to do it? And nobody ever says like, oh no, it's just wrong to shoot people. It's just like wrong to do a mass shooting. It's like that never comes up in the conversation at all. Oh, that's just wrong. It's always like, oh, whose words can we pin this on? Who said the thing that inspired the, like, which side is using their speech to inspire these shootings? Anyway, I just like, there's a huge difference between taking an action and then just like bullshitting words. And we can all, it's okay to like, I think we should all like be like, no, it's like, it's wrong what he says. Nobody should be like out there going like, I love Hitler. Like it's not right. It's not good. But is it funny? Yeah, it's definitely funny. And I think the best thing we could do is keep putting them on podcasts where people go, hey, you got to cut out the Jew stuff. It's crazy. And then, watch him go like, no, I love Hitler. And then that just lets us know, and okay, if I'm a Jew and I'm around Kanye, I should probably, not be around him. Well,
eventually it'll get to the point where it's kind of like those guys on the subway that they go around like the subway trains and they're just like spouting off, they're chanting that the end of the world is nigh, and we all like notice that they're there, but then we kind of just avert our eyes to the other side and we just go about our
guy.
Yeah, we go, that's a crazy guy, and then we get off the subway and go on with the rest of our day. That's what will happen to Kanye. We'll give him the subway guy treatment.
All right,
I don't mean Jared.
All right, we're gonna molest him. That is the solution to all of this, is it not? We're gonna have to molest Kanye. We're going to have someone come and molest Kanye. That's the only way out of this. Okay, one more story about work, and then we'll get to an article here. And you know this one anyway, but I'm telling it because I love it. This guy comes up, and, my ring here is my great-grandfather's ring. And so he's asking me about the ring, and I'm telling him, oh, it's my great-grandfather's. And he goes, oh, well, actually, my wife is Jewish, so I have one other guy like me in there. But they don't ever ask him about this. And he's like, my wife, actually has her great-grandmother's ring, and she survived the Holocaust. And my reaction was, that's so cool. Just like awkward as hell. I shouldn't have said, I should have been like, I should have said, oh, that's cool that she has the ring. That was my thought process. Like, oh, that's cool that she got to, inherit the ring. That's really cool. But he's like, she survived the Holocaust. I'm like, oh, sweet. Sweet. Yeah, Holocaust, pretty sweet. So that was a time I looked stupid at work. Okay, so we found this video. Speaking of right-wing, Nazi Alex Jones. Speaking of Alex Jones. Speaking of podcasters who get, blamed for being alt-right Nazis and called alt-right Nazis. There's one podcaster. Is the Young Turks Turks a podcast?
Well, they're
or is it like a show?
They're
it's
like
YouTube
internet news.
Yeah.
They're like, we're going to do news, but strictly for the digital world.
Well, the Young Turks had a segment. I mean, you're right. Specifically for the left-leaning.
For Twitter.
Yeah, for Twitter.
We're doing news specifically for Twitter.
Yeah, news for Twitter. There's a good description of what the Young Turks is. So the Young Turks did this segment on Tim Pool. Tim Pool, another podcaster, talks about politics. He describes himself as left-wing.
I would say he's a centrist.
He is a centrist, but doesn't he describe himself as like, I'm a liberal?
I think he's like socially liberal, but I think politically he's like doesn't like to really take a hard stance on anything.
Anyway,
but I think that's part of the brand.
This is in reaction to his take on the Colorado Springs club shooting that happened recently. And I guess he tweeted, right? You said that Tim Pool tweeted something out.
Yeah, he following the Club Q shooting, Tim Pool tweeted out something along the lines of, how do we stop the groomers, but also the violence? Because
a lot of left-wing people are saying that, like, this narrative that gay people are all groomers is the reason why this shooting happened. Just what we were talking about earlier, is that, this person took a terrible action.
But his actions don't matter. It's the words of other people is what we should be focusing on.
Yep. It's the language that we really need to police. Policing that people shoot other people, I mean, fuck it. We need to find out.
Yeah, we're never going to solve crime.
Yeah.
But what we can solve is words.
Exactly. We can solve what words people use, and then the shootings will end forever. So he pointed out that, maybe we should worry about both, right? Maybe we should worry about people grooming kids and people who are committing mass shootings.
Now, I'm not going to say that probably poor timing. I wouldn't necessarily
right after the shooting.
Like,
and you know what?
It just feels a little like exploitative.
Oh, I mean, any political take, but hey, hon, that's the game now. Okay, the game is immediately after the shooting, politicize it. Remember COVID, and COVID started, and for like one day, I would say 2 hours, we said, let's not politicize this. This is going to be crazy. We might have to like lock down, and a lot of people could die, and it's very scary. We don't know a lot about this virus. I said, let's just make an attempt this one time.
And then hour 3 hit, and we said,
let's politicize it.
How can we use this against Nancy Pelosi?
How is Nancy Pelosi wrong? How is this Trump's fault?
How can we blame Trump? How can we blame Pelosi?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Kanye was like, no, how can we blame the Jews?
How can we blame the Jews? And what did the Jews do to cause COVID? I've always wondered that. Why did the Jews start COVID, Lauren?
I signed an NDA, and I'm not actually allowed to disclose this information. Top secret.
All right, so this is the Young Turks' reaction to Tim Pool, and I thought this is so funny. All right, here we go.
So, okay, here comes the right wing. Kurt Schlichter on Twitter. I don't think we have to tolerate pedophiles because some a-hole shot up a gay bar. Frankly, a lot of people trying to convince us we need to tolerate pedophiles seem to be happy to use any excuse to silence our opposition.
I'm sure he had that take when it came to getting Roy Moore elected in the Senate in Alabama.
No,
right?
The right wing loves pedophiles.
They love it.
And I'll explain that in a second.
Right wing loves pedophiles. And that's the thing is like, our bookshelves are lined with like right wingers and left wingers. Like we will read and listen to anybody's argument, and then we'll make our own decisions. But the last thing you could say is that you and I like are in a bubble. Like we've definitely existed in different bubbles, and we'll listen to opinions of different people. And the one thing that the right wingers always say is, we love pedophiles. We are on board with pedophiles. Can you imagine? The whole thing is like, we have to get these people to stop calling people groomers. And all they push back against is pedophiles all day. They label anyone a pedophile. And they're like, here's the thing about, it's because they love them.
It's because they love them.
It's because they love them. This is going to be a theme. throughout this video is how much this guy is.
Now the progressive side of the spectrum, they may say we have to call them minor attracted peoples because we need to respect their choices, but we don't love them.
We don't. Yeah. We don't love the pedophiles.
But you should respect them.
But right wing, they love the pedophiles.
Love them.
They love them.
And they don't respect their titles.
Here's the thing: Trump, he fucked kids.
Then Tim Pool responds, because there's no end to the depravity of right-wing media. He says, we shouldn't tolerate pedophiles grooming kids. Club Q had a grooming event.
How is it a grooming event? It's a drag show at a, mind your own goddamn business.
I love that. Now, how is that a grooming event? It's a drag show at a, and then she's sitting there going, at a children's, at a storybook, at a, mind your own business. That's what ran through her head. How's that grooming? It's just drag queens with mind your own business. How's that grooming? It's just adults fucking kids. Mind your own business. How is that grooming? It's just kids playing toss the cock ring on the dildo. It's just kids putting $1 bills in the G string of. Mind your own business.
That's good, wholesome fun.
It's just kids hanging out, measuring their butthole circumferences, trying to determine which 8-year-old has the biggest gape. You know what? Mind your own business. I shouldn't have to say this. How's that grooming? There's just a giant neon sign that says it isn't going to lick itself. You know what? Mind your own business.
There's no kids there. Consenting adults can do whatever the hell they please. They don't need your goddamn permission. Oh, do we need permission from grifters now to enjoy?
Now, actually, this is a great point because all of the right-wingers are arguing that consenting adults should not go to drag shows. That's the argument, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that adults shouldn't go to these drag shows.
Definitely.
That's the argument they're really making?
That's the actual argument.
So dumb. No, the argument is that people bringing children to sexually explicit drag shows is maybe, and I think it's a pretty fair argument, maybe, the word maybe is in there, maybe not advised. I think that's a pretty fair argument. And she's like, consenting adults can't go to drag shows anymore.
For our adult lives? Is that what we need? I need permission from Beanie Boy Tim Pool to go to a drag show?
And by the way,
and if you watch Tim Pool, this is actually what he says. He says, you need my permission before you, as an adult, attend a drag show. I do love when people are arguing against a point that is not being made at all. And he says these people can't even wear drag anymore, anywhere, ever. He also says people aren't allowed to be gay. I mean, it's crazy. These Republicans think that we should all. I don't know. It's so dumb.
Shut up and sit down, Tim.
Shut up and sit down.
How about that? Always involved in everyone's personal life and personal business. Didn't say a peep when it came to Roy Moore fondling 13-year-old girls and molesting them. Not a peep, because it's all about political power. It's all about.
Didn't you say that the Roy Moore thing,
He won a defamation case over this very thing, the accusations against him for having relations with underage women.
They looked into it with a court.
Yeah, and
a jury. And determined that
the accusations were false enough that they could win a defamation case.
Interesting.
Against the people making him. Now his, I think, career.
Now he fucked a bunch of kids.
And Tim Pool didn't make a freaking peep about it.
Sit down and shut up.
He was just too busy over there telling us adults what we couldn't do with our dicks.
I like when my news is being presented by the bullies at the beginning of the Carrie movie. The ones that are throwing tampons at Carrie and telling her, plug it up. Plug it up, you nasty bitch. That's
plug it up, Tim Pool.
Sit down and shut up. I love my news being read by just a monster. Fuck you and shut up. Here's the Daily News. Here's what happened. Kanye's anti-Semitic. Fuck you. Sit down. I'm a dragon.
About getting your guys elected into Congress, and don't give me any of that garbage about how, no, I'm not on the right. I'm not on the right. I just spew right-wing propaganda all day and all night. I'm not on the right. Shut up and sit down.
That. I'm not debating that. He's a monstrous right-winger. He's a terrible, terrible person. Yeah, he's
terrible, terrible person.
He's monstrous. He's monstrous.
He stepped on the buildings of Tokyo and the people running below his feet pointed up and said, "Oh, Godzilla!" He's monstrous.
Look, on jaywalking, I'm progressive, but I think we should all gay people are pedophiles and groomers, and we should all attack them and just do all these horrible things so we can.
That, I was listening to Tim Pool recently, and he said, attack gay people. Do a bunch of horrible things to them. I'm pretty sure that shit would get kicked off YouTube.
Yeah, I think it would get taken down immediately.
Immediately. I mean, that's like Kanye level stuff. That's like banned from Twitter immediately. Banned from Twitter, and no one will argue in your defense at that point. Like when you say shit like that. It's crazy what their assumption of what somebody is.
Well, this is all just one giant straw man episode.
Oh yeah.
Where we're gonna exaggerate and twist what your actual argument is to fit our sort of warped caricature version of what a right-wing person would say about this.
Right.
And they're like, Don Quixote arguing against windmills that aren't, the demons that they think they are.
It's almost like they're pushing left-wing conspiracy theory.
It's almost like this is kind of the Alex Jones of the left.
Absolutely.
Except unlike Alex Jones, because I think Alex Jones is one of those people who every now and then
get something right.
Yeah. Because a
Cenk
conspiracy.
Uygur.
Uygur. I think it's Uygur.
Cenk Uygur.
Cenk Uygur.
I'm telling you, I'm calling him Cenk Uygur. I think it's Cenk Uygur, and if it is, then I understand what the Chinese are doing with the Uyghurs. I'm on board. If it's this guy.
Well, I think
if they're all Cenk, let's keep them in those camps.
But unlike Alex Jones, I think he's generally wrong about most things.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think every now and then
Alex
Jones
is
lands
just wrong about some things. some things that end up,
costing you almost $1 trillion.
Millions of dollars in a settlement, but sometimes he's wrong, sometimes he's right. He seemed to be a lot more right a long time ago, and lately, my favorite thing that he ended up being right about is the gay frog thing. Although it wasn't gay, it's trans frogs. The chemicals in the water were causing the genitalia of the frogs to change.
Yeah.
And so everyone's I love that everyone loves to make fun of him for they're turning the frogs gay, because it is a funny sound clip. It's funny.
Turning the frogs gay.
And then you go fact check it, and it's no, what he said was false. They're actually turning the frogs trans. It's worse. It's even worse than Alex Jones's imagination can come up with. All right, let's keep watching left-wing InfoWars here.
Can goad our lunatic audience, and yes, Tim Pool, Matt Walsh, Tucker Carlson, you all have lunatics in your audience, and you weaponize them, and you know it. I mean, look at him. I'll finish the tweet to be fair. How do we prevent the violence and stop the grooming, he says. Oh, in other words, well, I didn't quite like the way he murdered all those people, but hey, I really like the fact that he attacked these people that I'm calling groomers.
Wow, what a reach there.
That man's got Michael Jordan and Space Jam arm length for that
reach. Yeah. Hey, but you know what? Even in Space Jam, he ends up scoring the goal.
He gets a dunk.
He dunks it.
He dunked it on Tim Pool there.
Cenk, they should call him Cenk Dunk. Cenk the Dunker Uygur.
Based on nothing. I mean, he said it. Club Q had a grooming event. He said, it's not a goddamn grooming event, you monster. Okay, so what is a drag queen? A drag queen is someone.
What is a drag queen?
This is where it gets philosophical. What is
even a drag queen? And what is a monster?
To be or not to be a drag queen.
Dresses in a way you don't like.
It's a
Are
costume.
you insane? Are you insane?
Yeah,
Wait.
that's the problem. Now we're getting down to what these right-wingers are arguing. They're arguing that the drag queens dress weird. That's why they're mad.
That's his definition of a drag queen. Somebody who doesn't dress the way that you like them to be dressed.
If that's the case, then my mom thinks everyone's a drag queen.
Well, if that's
I think you're dressed like shit.
Well, that's the case. Anybody that the left saw wearing a MAGA hat, I guess, is a drag queen.
I guess so. There's one guy who's wearing a MAGA hat who listens to our podcast that goes, I don't think I'm a drag queen. You know what? I don't like that joke.
Hey, don't take it up with us. Take it up with Cenk Uygur. He said it, we didn't.
I don't like that. I ain't no drag queen. I'm a drag king.
I do like that he claims that the lunatics are only in the audiences of those listening to specifically like conservative.
Oh, no lunatics live here at the Young Turks.
Yeah, no, there's definitely no lunatics in the Young Turks audience.
Definitely not a single left-wing lunatic that exists.
And they're definitely not like drawing anybody to violence by characterizing a person as a monster and somebody who's calling for attacks on other people.
Oh, yeah. No, that's Tim Pool who's mobilizing his audience to attack people, whereas
when the Young Turks does it, that's
justice
and nuance.
Justice and nuance.
Why do you care how they dress? Why do you care? It has nothing to do with kids.
You should go.
Maybe we
Yes, Tim Pool's famous tweet where he says, I care how they dress.
They're not wearing beanies.
damn dress with your stupid dumb beanie. Okay? So what is it? Oh, should we call you groomer, pedophile? And then say, oh, I know somebody should do something to stop Tim Pool. He's wearing a beanie. He's a monster. He probably molests little kids because of his stupid beanie. Okay? We don't do that because
All right, now we've gotten to where I wanted to get in this video. I'm going to rewind it, and I'm going to play it a little more. And you at home listening, you tell me this isn't the left-wing Alex Jones. You tell me that this guy isn't exactly what Alex Jones is to the right. This guy is to the left. Listen to this. He says the guy is a pedophile because of his beanie. Because you wear a beanie, you like to fuck kids. Listen to this. This is the funniest thing I've ever heard.
it has nothing to do with kids.
You should go.
Maybe we don't like the way you goddamn dress with your stupid dumb beanie. Okay? So what is it? Oh, should we call you groomer, pedophile? And then say, oh, I know somebody should do something to stop Tim Pool. He's wearing a beanie. He's a monster. He probably molests little kids because of his stupid beanie. Okay? We don't do that because unlike you, we're not trying to get people killed. Unlike you, we're not monsters who are constantly attacking people who are gay and in the LGBTQ community. I'm sick.
And don't even get me started on the lizard people. The lizard people on the right. On the right, you got a lot of lizard people. And they're turning the damn frogs gay. This is 100%.
And they won't even let the frogs be gay. That's what they would be saying. Is my mic coming undone?
Yeah,
What's happening?
You're just getting a lot of crackle in
I'm
there.
getting crackles.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of crackle, but it's okay. If you're listening to the podcast, sorry for the crackle.
I'm sorry
Anyway.
for the crackles.
That is that's really what the part of that video I wanted to get to. Is there any more of this that we feel like we really have to get to in there?
No, I think we've seen enough. I think we've seen enough. I just don't understand people who watch the Young Turks and aren't laughing at it. Because I watched that and I just think this is funny.
Lauren,
Like, it's so wild. It's so much like WWE to me. Like, this is entertainment, right?
oh yeah, absolutely.
And I like that in the script they didn't have much editing. They're like, we can't decide between stupid and dumb for Tim Pool's beanie, so just say both.
Yeah. You're stupid, dumb beanie. Stupid, dumb, and idiot.
On your stupid, dumb face!
And you're a monster too. Anyway, that's crazy.
Yeah, we just had to cover that because it's just wild, wild, wild.
Truly, truly wild. So anyway, let's move on to some of our favorite Reddit stories here. We always love these. True Off My Chest. That's the subreddit we're on right now. Me and my girlfriend were robbed, and how she acted during makes me want to dump her. Now, I used to feel this way sometimes when we first moved to Chicago because you're just a tiny, frail little person, you know? And I always wondered if we were to get robbed and someone like showed up and robbed us, if you would just drop into like the corner and fall to the ground and just cry and go into fetal position. Because sometimes when it's just like too cold outside, you fall. Your legs give out and you fall into the fetal position. I used to describe it as like we moved to Chicago, like we went to go live in the jungle, but you have one leg, and so it's just really hard to navigate the jungle. But I think you've gotten a lot better.
I'm like the baby gazelle that's got a little bit of a limp.
Yeah.
And the lions are coming after me.
The lions are running, and I gotta pull you. I have a lot of nightmares where it's like
you're like, we're trying to get to the watering hole, and you're like taking a really long time to get there.
I had a lot of nightmares, especially when you broke your foot, of like things happen, like we were in like a mass shooting situation, and we have to get out quickly, and you're like, my foot though, it hurts, and I have to like grab you and carry you and run with you. So.
And then Tim Pool makes a tweet about me that is monstrous.
I'm just saying that, you know, if we were to get robbed, I would dump you. 2 weeks ago, me and my girlfriend were walking home while a little drunk after a party, and we were robbed at by an armed mugger. The guy stopped us, pulled out his firearm, and told us to give him our stuff. I immediately gave him my wallet and phone. My girlfriend decided to be difficult. I don't know why. She's usually very smart, but this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen her done.
No. I'm sorry. This person is calling out their girlfriend for being stupid.
But can't write.
But literally just wrote, the stupidest thing I've ever seen her done.
The stupidest thing I've ever seen her done. That's just the dumbest damn darn thing I ever done see her done. And I learned that. And I learned her good afterwards. Yeah, no, that is one thing. If you're going to write about how dumb someone is, or, you know, criticize someone for their intelligence, you cannot make spelling mistakes or grammar mistakes. You just can't.
There's literally been a mistake in each one of these sentences.
Absolutely. It's very difficult to read, and it's not my fault. You know, I'm a great reader. I'm a really good reader. That's the thing about me, Lauren, and our audience that everyone should know is like I'm actually like a good reader, but that's the thing.
Yeah, it's the
like,
goodest thing I've ever seen done.
She refused to give him her phone or purse. She decided that the best course of action was to argue with him. She kept yelling at me to do something, which led to the guy keeping his GN trailed on me the entire time. Or, I'm sorry.
His pew-pew.
His gun trained on me the entire time. She was just doing too much. She had no sense of self-preservation. It was very clear she valued her material possessions more than my life. Eventually, I took both from her and gave it to the guy, and he ran off. Afterwards, she was pissed at me for keeping us both alive. Jeez. I grew up in the hood, and I've had shit like this happen more than once. Okay, I forgive all your spelling mistakes. We did not mean to make fun of your spelling mistakes or your grammar, Mr. Sir. You grew up in the hood, and I understand now. But hey, might I suggest that growing up in the hood and making a lot of spelling mistakes, just don't attack people's intelligence, please.
I'm just going to say this. I don't think growing up in the hood is an excuse for poor grammar. I've seen Freedom Riders. I know what they're capable of.
I've seen people in the hood excel at grammar and literature in movies. I've seen movies where people do a great job at talking.
I've seen Dangerous Minds.
I've seen plenty of movies where you people do a great job at talking and dancing.
I've seen many a movie where a white woman comes in and she ships you into shape.
All y'all need is a nice white lady coming in to fix you up.
She can fix all your Reddit posts.
I know the best way to make it out of these situations is just to give them your shit so they'll leave. Yeah, it fucking sucks losing money, but that's a lot better than getting hurt or worse in the streets over a few $100s. Both of our lives are worth more than that, but she apparently didn't see it that way. Her utter lack of desire to keep us both alive over money is a huge wake-up call to me. Like, if she's gonna be this fucking stupid and potentially life or death situation, how can I trust her to be with me throughout the rest of my life?
I would never do this. I would never do this if we were robbed.
Yeah, you would immediately give your stuff. And I might actually be the person who's like, no, I need that. I need my laptop for work. Please don't take it, mister.
No, I would freeze kind of like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
I would freeze, and then they'd be like, can I have your wallet? I turn mute.
Yeah.
Just
Like, I'd have to go, Lauren, give me your wallet. Let me give it to the guy.
What?
What? I got my wallet.
That would probably be more likely for me. Is I freeze or
cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, I want my wallet and you're gonna take it.
But also my current wallet doesn't have anything in it except like trash. So
they're gonna shoot us anyway.
Yeah.
They're gonna open your wallet and you're like, no, I'm shooting you. Fuck it. Oh man.
Because I stopped the wallet that I had. I kind of just stopped using it to hold like my important like cards and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it just literally has like old receipts that are probably so old that the ink on it has all smeared off.
Do you have any like secret Jewish documents in there though?
There's, I think, a punch card for Tappy's frozen yogurt.
Hey, that's exactly what I meant by a secret Jewish document. Punch cards for free items. That's goofy. Well, I don't know. Would you dump me? Now here's what if we got into this situation, it's me and you, and I'm the one that's like freaked out and can't, immobile, and you're the one that has to kind of handle everything. Would you dump me?
I'd be like, wow, you're a real feminist, Josh. Thank you for letting me take charge in these situations. having the confidence in me to do so.
Wow, Josh, you're a real woman. You're a real lady. Wow, Josh, you really are a woman.
Would I dump you for clamming up in a life or death situation? No. I don't think I would dump you.
No. The way you said no. No.
I mean, maybe. No, because everybody processes that stuff differently.
Now you're just coming up with excuses. You would dump me. You'd absolutely dump me.
No, I wouldn't. No.
Oh man.
No, I wouldn't.
Now, could you rob somebody? Could you go through with it if you needed to? If you were in a situation where you had to rob to survive, you had to steal and thieve.
I don't think I'm tall enough or have like a stature that has like an authoritative enough feel to myself.
Easy. That's easy. You just
if I got in front of somebody's face, that they would listen to me.
You stand up real tall. You stand up real tall. You grit your teeth like this, and you talk only through gritted teeth like this.
Yeah,
say, "Give me your money, you little bitch."
I'm telling you, when short, petite people do this, people just laugh because it's like seeing a chihuahua
only
growl.
short people do this. Tall people earn their money. Okay, short people rob people.
If I have to talk their gritted teeth.
Yeah, like that. Look at the camera, dog. Say, I'm gonna rob you.
I'm gonna rob you.
Say, give me all your money, you little bitch.
I can't do it without laughing right now.
I want you through gritted teeth to look at the camera and say, fuck you, bitch.
No.
Oh, God damn it. But wouldn't it be adorable?
See, and well, maybe somebody would give me their money because they're just like, "Oh, you're so cute.
You're so cute.
Here's a tip."
Oh, that's cute. You're like, fuck you, bitch. You're like, oh, it's so cute. They pinch your cheek. Oh, who's a little cutie trying to rob me?
No, I think I'd have to be like a pickpocket kind of thing.
Yeah,
because I got tiny hands.
Yeah, you could.
Somebody might not feel me digging around.
But you're not very quick and quiet. You'd have to be like real quick and squirrely to do that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I would make a good pickpocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, that rules that out.
Man, sorry, I'm punching you in the face here.
You are.
It's your mic. It's just so staticky. You're just getting a lot of
I'm getting all the static.
little crackles. I'm getting lots of crackles today. It's a crackly podcast.
It's a snap, crackle, pop episode.
Now, if you like a crackly podcast, then you're going to like Working Crass podcast because you're already listening to it and you already enjoy it. Working Crass podcast is the podcast that you're listening to right now, and thank you for listening to it. We are trying very hard to grow this podcast, and the best possible way to support it is by subscribing to our YouTube page and hitting that notification bell so that you know when we have a new video. You can also reach out to us and talk to us. We're happy to talk to you if you're listening to it. Go check us out at Working Crass Pod on Instagram. Just DM us there. We'll answer any DM you want to send us. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We're at Working Crass Pod on all platforms. So please support us. Maybe we'll do a Patreon soon.
Yeah, you need to support us because if not, we're going to have to turn to a life of robbery. And we've just proven that I would make a terrible pickpocket/thief.
If you don't support us and if you don't go subscribe to our channel right now, we're basically going to become the new Young Turks. We're going to be the Young Turks version 2, okay? And all day we're going to talk about, we're only going to be a left-wing, hard left-wing, like conspiracy left-wing.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Okay.
I mean, what do you think? Should we do that?
I think that's great.
I think it'd be fun. So, that's a threat. If you don't go support us, we're going to become the Young Turks. And we'll do it, too.
Mm-hmm.
And don't even think we'll do it, because we're from the hood. Cool. Is that it? Do we want to go to this last one?
All right, let's go to the last one.
All right. I fell for the McDonald's girl. I'm a medical student. I go to the same McDonald's often because I'm so busy I hardly have time to cook. But anyhow, I would often go there and see the same girl a bit younger than me. I'm 28, she's 23. We always would talk, and over the course of 2 months I got to know her a lot, about her mom, and what she wants to do after McDonald's, etc. She's beautiful and sweet, and I felt a very obvious, very strong mutual attraction. But I never tried to flirt with her because in my country, there's a stigma for people in rich jobs or higher education to be flirting with people in working class positions. Nice little working class throw in there. I'm sure you can all guess which one. America? Is this America? I would have tried to flirt with her, but in America, there's a stigma for people in rich jobs or higher education to be flirting with people in working class positions.
All countries?
Yeah.
Every single one of them?
I'm sure you can guess which one. Basically, if you're richer and flirt with a poorer person, people here assume you're trying to take advantage of them or just use them for sex or control them with your money as opposed to truly caring about them. So I avoided it. Yeah, America. But then today... She very timidly came up to me at my table while I was eating and asked if she could eat her lunch with me. Then during the lunch, she asked me out on a date. She has no idea I'm a medical student or anything. As far as she knows, I'm just a regular guy because I don't wear fancy clothes or my school clothes to the place usually. I dated women for 2 years before and never felt as strongly as I do for this woman. Whenever I told her, yes, I'd love to go on the date, I know for sure my face was red as a tomato. I'm as the tomato ketchup sauce that they have at McDonald's. I'm just hoping our attraction is on the same level. I'd be really embarrassed if I fell way harder, but I think that's okay too.
I'm speechless.
I fell for the McDonald's girl sounds like a folk song to me. I fell for the McDonald's girl. She had some ketchup on her face. She had mustard on her gloves, and I fell in love with her. She had nuggets in a box, and she handed them to me.
She had the 2 most beautiful Big Macs I ever did see. I want to motorboat those Big Macs.
I touched her hand as she handed me fries. Them fries were romantic.
I want to lick the special sauce off her special place.
'Cause I fell in love with the McDonald's girl. This is really weird. Like, I mean, maybe this is some country where this is like a huge stigma for, you know, the two the class system for people not to hang out across different classes. But I kind of just feel like this is like...
I feel like classism is kind of like... It's international. There's so many countries where classism is an issue. There's also so many countries where McDonald's exists. So I'm like, this is everywhere.
I know.
This is everywhere and anywhere.
At least from an American perspective, this really just looks like I fell in love with a dirty-ass McDonald's girl. Can you believe it? Normally, I think those people are trolls.
This is going to be the next Hallmark movie.
And she's like, I mean, literally sees somebody at McDonald's as like a crippled, like... How could I fall in love with such a dirty, poor person?
She's literally covered in fry grease.
Can you believe I fell in love with such a greasy bitch?
I fell in love with a woman who smells exactly like a McRib.
Can you believe I fell in love with a girl who works at McDonald's? I mean, ew. Yeah, it is kind of like...
But didn't like KFC do like a Hallmark Christmas movie mashup thing?
What?
Yeah. There was like a thing where like KFC teamed up with Hallmark or one of those kinds of channels.
What? Oh my God. A Recipe for Seduction.
Yeah.
A Recipe for Seduction is a short film sponsored by KFC and produced by Lifetime.
Lifetime, Hallmark, they're pretty much the same thing.
Starring Mario Lopez as Colonel Sanders.
Yes.
What?
So I'm telling you, I Fell in Love with a McDonald's Girl is going to be the next fast food sponsored cheesy romance movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is what cinema is turning into, just corporate sponsorships.
I'll have a McKiss, please. If I could just get one McSmooch on my cheek.
And she's like, oh, McBlow me.
Extra sauce on the side. I'm not allowed to give out extra sauce, but I think I see a lot of lawbreakers out there. Oh my God. That's so dumb.
You had me at pull up to the next window, please.
Standing outside the drive-thru with like a stereo playing Take My Breath Away.
No, it's playing.
What is it?
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving it, and I'm loving you. Oh my God, they have French fry between their mouths that they eat like Lady and the Tramp and kiss at the end with ketchup and mustard all over their lips. Oh my God, that's hilarious. I know you were cheating on me with that other guy. I saw ketchup on his wiener. I know you blew him because you're the McDonald's girl. And every time you blow people, you get ketchup and mustard all over their wieners. I caught you red wienered. Well, that was fun. That was a fun one. But let's go ahead and wrap it there. What did you learn today?
I learned that Lifetime should really reach out to the Young Turks for a corporate sponsorship short film romance movie.
Oh, yeah. Between Cenk and Alex Jones. Mm-hmm. That would be like a gay romance.
And it's called I Fell for the Beanie Boy.
Oh, my God. I learned that that Tim Pool, the podcaster, called for people to beat up and kill gay people. I didn't know that. But then I watched the Young Turks and I learned what Tim Pool said without hearing him say it. Isn't that interesting? I learned that watching the Young Turks, you can actually find out what right-wing people are saying.
By making up what right-wing people are saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's an interesting way of podcasting, saying people said things that they never said. Interesting.
Lying. We should really try that sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I feel like we've been far too truthful in our podcasts.
Yeah, we have been fart too truthful.
Is that what I said? Fart too truthful?
Yeah, fart too truthful. That's the name of our podcast now. Fart too Fart toot truthful. I can't even say it. Fuck. Fart toot truthful. Yeah.
At www.farttoottruthful, where you can find the truth about putting the chemicals in the water to make you fart.
They're making your farts gay. They're turning your farts gay. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.